Hey, come on in and welcome to A Win is a Win podcast, where sports and everything else collide. Comfortable? All right. Let's go, Dr. T.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Well, you guys, welcome back to A Win is a Win. Thank you all for coming. And, you know, we are here. Now that the draft is over, we focus on basketball right now because the playoffs have gotten very serious. A lot of games are getting real chippy. Refs are making some stupid calls. Yes, I'm going to call it like I see it. And we're going to get into all of it. But first and foremost, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast. And don't forget to tell someone to tell somebody else to join. A win is a win. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when a new episode drops. Hit the thumbs up or the like button, whichever one you choose to call it. It just keeps us in the algorithm and lets people know, hey, there's a little podcast over here that you might want to subscribe to. And don't forget, when you pull up over here, it doesn't cost you a thing. But I want to shout out my daughter. You know, she keeps this podcast going. It was been a little rough on me lately trying to get over a couple things, but she keeps it going for me. So shout out to my daughter. Listen, playoffs are getting real active, and I am not going to waste any time, you guys. We need to get into all of the action, and we are going to get into it right now. Listen, the Cavaliers are up 3-0. They are getting the brooms ready. Oh, yeah. You guys already know I'm a Cavs fan. They are getting the brooms ready. Donovan Mitchell is averaging over 30 points per game. Defense has been elite. No question about that. And they've limited the Heat to under 100 points in the last two games. And you can tell that the Heat is struggling a little bit without Jimmy Buckets, especially Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo have been consistently been unable to deliver without Jimmy Bucket. So you can definitely see that things are getting a little bit chippy. I saw within that Magic and the Celtics game. Banchero in game 3, trying to, want to fight it out a little bit. And then Jaylen Brown is like, okay, well, I guess if we want to fight, I guess we got to fight it out. But, it is what it is, guys. Tatum and Brown have been dominating nonetheless. And then you have Derek White, whose shooting to me has been a huge X factor on the Celtics end. But at the end of the day, regardless of the back and forth banter and the fighting, you got to close out games. And the Magic failed to do that. The Knicks and the Pistons, you know, at some point, Adam Silver and these refs are going to have to sit down because to me, saying that you have the call wrong after the fact is like somebody apologizing that says, I'm sorry, but it's like the but totally negates the apology. Yeah. So at the end of the day, the call is the call, or you just don't put yourselves in a situation to put the call in the ref's hands to begin with. That also is the other part of the situation. But the lead is going to the Knicks 3-1 right now. Brunson once again is proving that he is a true playoff performer. And Cade Cunningham, he basically is doing everything he can. But I really do think that Detroit, in some ways, is lacking the firepower that they need in this particular series. So we'll see what happens there. Pacers is leading the series 3-1 against the Bucks. Looks like Lillard is out for the season with that injury. He has exited that game early. It's unfortunate because if you know, he just returned actually. What was it? In the game before this one. So Miles Turner led pretty much a balanced attack in this particular game in game 4. And, in the Bucks situation is kind of like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. You know what I mean? It's like you have, what can you do at this point? Lillard came back. Okay, what can we do? Well, he goes down. And, Halliburton was getting a little chippy. Again, I'll say the same thing about you that I'm going to say about Green later. You're not gangster. Calm down, sir. Please. Enough is enough with these little antics that you guys have. But it's the playoffs, so it's going to get a little chippy. Thunder swept up that series, put a bow on it, and put that to bed. They swept the Grizzlies. People wanted to give Ja a hard time because he covered his face. He didn't want to talk to the media. All right. It, sometimes you got to get the smoke. You got to talk. The same way you lose is the same way when you win. So I understand that, but I also understand that hurt too. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-sided coin. But now they're waiting to see who they're going to play out of the Warriors not the Warriors, the Clippers and the Nuggets. So we'll see. Speaking of the Clippers and excuse me, the Nuggets, that series is starting to get a little bit chippy as well because Kawhi is like, all right, I heard y'all. I heard everything that you said. Y'all talked about my knees real bad. Y'all said that I was getting free money. Y'all had all the memes going all over social media. The Nuggets are leading that series 2-1. And of course, we all know about Aaron's buzzer beating dunk in game 3 the other day. But I will say that Kawhi has been showing up in this particular series. But at the same time, you also have to, kind of take a step back, and you're going to have to address the obvious is that we see what Kawhi is doing, and we are not going to take his vintage form that he is putting out there in spurts. But let's keep it real. Jokic is the best center alive. Argue with an alien. Argue with somebody else. Get down in the comments and let me know. Watch for the next game. I believe it is going to be the equivalent of a heavyweight battle. The Warriors are leading the Rockets 3-1. Now listen. Or what is their record right now? Is it 3-1 or is it 2-1? What is their let me look this up. They're 2-1. Okay, yeah, they're leading the series 2-1, and it's all because of Steph Curry. Listen, here's my point in this. Okay, Steph Curry has pretty much made himself the person that the Houston Rockets are going to have to go against. Okay? And you have the other people that are facilitators. True enough. Green is going to do his part, and other people are going to do their part. But Steph Curry said, oh no, let me get the ball. See, what I could not understand is this. People thought that the Rockets' athleticism would overshadow the Warriors' experience. How? Oh, they're going to shoot them off the floor. How? They had the lowest shooting percentage in the regular season. So where would one's mind go to think that they would even have that opportunity to do that against probably the greatest shooter that we've ever seen in that position? I'm not going to say he's the best. Next to Magic Johnson. He's in playing that position. He's the best shooter. Like he's the. My point is that there's no way that you thought the Rockets could do anything with these Warriors. They got one, okay, but Steph Curry is putting on a master class right now of let me show you how it's done. That's my point, okay. And with that series at 2-1, they need to pretty much go ahead and finish the class and close it out and move on to the next round. And Mr. Green, again, just like I said with Halliburton, you are not gangster, sir. I need you to calm that down. All right? Play basketball. That's all you need to do. That's it. The toughness and all of these different little antics and all this, whatever music you listening to that's making you think that that's who you are, just stop. Pick up the basketball. You know where to go, dribble it to, and you know where the ultimate goal is. Do that, and that is it. Okay? That's it, and that's all. Now, it's so many different sayings that goes on with this Lakers in 5. And I'm not about to go through all that unnecessary nonsense. But right now, the Lakers are down 3-1. And Anthony Edwards is not here to play with anybody. Let me tell y'all something. This is what I noticed. That Anthony Edwards, let's go back to the Olympics for a minute. Anthony Edwards during the Olympics had an opportunity to play with the same guys that he's playing against right now. You see the difference in what I'm saying? He played with them, then he's playing against them now. So what do you think he did then? He's soaking it all in. He's taking notes. So that when it was time for him to no longer be a teammate and play against them, he emptied the clip. And that's exactly what he did with LeBron and Luka. He was all over them like a bad suit the other night. And we got to stop making excuses. I saw a small clip on ESPN where Wendy is giving Luka every reason in the world why that matchup with him and Luka failed. Oh, it's because when he was in Dallas, he had help. Well, while now he's in LA and he doesn't have a 5 and he doesn't. Come on now. Knock that down, son, Wendy. Knock it off. Okay? This is playoff basketball. And whatever you need to do to get the job done, there is no excuses. You got to turn it up. It goes up. So it didn't matter if you had a 5, 4, 3, or 2, or a 1. You need to figure out how to get it done. There is no excuse. And here's the other thing that I noticed too from another clip. The last few minutes of this past game, you had Luke at the top of the key and LeBron, both open and uncontested. Mid-range shot, for LeBron. Wide open 3, at least for Luka. You got AR over there on the baseline with a defender. Luka didn't take the shot, pass it to LeBron. LeBron didn't take the shot, pass it to AR with a defender. He takes the shot. LeBron knew once AR took that shot and he let it go. He knew it wasn't going in. LeBron started walking off. He knew it wasn't going in. So why didn't Luka or LeBron take the shot? They both would have had uncontested shots. Both had uncontested looks. So you see what I mean? Sometimes we are giving these players excuses that don't need them. The Wolves are punishing the Lakers because they are slow. I'm going to get into that a little bit later. Also, the other issue that I see is Russell and Reeves have been exposed on defense. Reeves was up in the clouds somewhere in the helicopter looking for Star. He was in that little spaceship, little bullet thing that Katy Perry and Gail and them was on a couple weeks ago up there playing around in the fake space thing. That's where he was at when he should have been playing defense. He wasn't in the arena trying to play defense. And I'm gonna get into my little thoughts about more of my thoughts about the Lakers and some of the mistakes JJ Redick made. But here's some of my projections for the finals. All right. Cavaliers versus Celtics. Why? Two best teams all year. All year coming out the East. Mitchell versus Tatum is a headline battle. Celtics depth versus the Cavs defensive toughness. So I'm predicting the Cavs in 6 because I think that defense is going to be too much for the Celtics depth. Even though they have the experience, don't get me wrong, that defense ain't nothing nice. Out the West, the Thunder and the Nuggets. I think so. I would like to see that. Would it happen? I don't know. I don't really particularly think it will because, here we are and this would be the so we're just getting out of the first round. And let me see here. So my OKC and yeah. So anyway, that's what I would like to see. I would like to see OKC and the Nuggets. And here's why I put that prediction down a while back. Because Jokic and SGA would be pure cinema. It would be pure cinema. Clash of the Titans and also clash of the styles. Youth, got the youth now because OKC is young versus the champion experience. And what could we have watched for? OKC and a young roster, and if they could handle a high pressure game. But what would be the outcome in that? Well, I would say OKC in 7 because the Nuggets would not give that up very easily, and Jokic is not going to allow Denver to fail. But I think that youth energy would run the gas out of the Nuggets. I believe that. But even if that's not the final, at least if the Nuggets get past the paper clips, we will be able to see it. Even if that wouldn't be a final, we will be able to see it. Here's something that's a bonus, though. Anthony Edwards will be the breakout star of this playoff run if he continues to play the way that he's playing. Go back to what I said about the Olympics and apply that to how he's playing right now. He wasn't afraid to get in Durant's face. He's not afraid to get all up in LeBron's face. He's not afraid of the narrative about Luka. The second best player in the NBA is what they call him. Luka. All right, I heard y'all. Watch this, is what he said. The Knicks are a sneaky dark horse, y'all, if Brunson stays hot. Watch what I tell you. And Boston feels like a team of destiny, and they are out to prove it again. Trying to spin the block. Jokic remains the best player on the planet until someone else proves me wrong. Jump down in the comments and tell me why he's not. The man is Thanos. The man is Magneto and Superman all in one. Bumblebee, put it together. Who gonna stop him? Who's gonna stop him? But before I get out of here, I'm gonna talk about these Lakers. Because when the trade went down, right? And that's a wild story. We all was here for it. And it shook everything up mid-season. We all woke up the next morning like somebody playing around on these folks' internet. Davis to Dallas, Luka to the Lakers. Wow. All right. Now it's Luka and LeBron running the show. Now they finished strong and they got the 3 seed, but here's the problem. They're down 3-1 to the Wolves right now. JJ Redick's coaching his first playoff series, and he's out here just trying stuff, like not making any subs in the second half of game 4. It almost worked, but they still blew a lead late. Bottom line, the Lakers are just too slow. They're barely scoring 95 a game in the playoffs. If they don't speed up or move the ball and get someone besides Luka and LeBron to help them out, well, as they say, it's a wrap. A few best to consider this week for Monday. Steph Curry. These are prop bets. Over 5.5 assists. Now the odds are at 130. Minus 130. Curry has recorded he's about 9.5 assists in each of the last 2 games against the Rockets. And he's averaging about 12.7 potential assists per games in this series. And then you got Van Vliet, over 4.5 assists, and his odds are at plus 110. And he struggles on shooting, but he's averaging about 9 assists. So I will go ahead and put that in. Jalen Green, they have him under 18.5 points, and he is at minus 120 on the odds. And he's averaged only 14.6 points per game against the Warriors. So this is making this bet under a favorable bet. So go under the 18.5 points on this one. We got Draymond Green over 6.5 rebounds. He grabs about 8 rebounds in game 3 and is expected to continue that. So and his odds are minus 110. So I would definitely go ahead and grab that early. And also, especially if the Rockets keep missing shots. And then lastly on these bets, I will go with Tyler Hero and over 4.5 assists. And his odds are at minus 110. And he averaged about, during the regular season, about 5.5. And then against the Cavs in this series, he's averaging about 6 to 7. So definitely will go over in these. Remember, get your bets in, and you can also join us on DraftKings. You can go to drT23.site. That is DRT23.site. Click me on join me on DraftKings. You can get a bonus bet up to $150 if you place a bet for $5. Join us on DraftKings, and you know what they say. The crown is yours. That's going to end it for this week's episode. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so that you know when a new episode drops. Appreciate all the subscribers and the new listeners as well. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. It just keeps us in the algorithm. And don't forget, you can catch the audio on Spotify and Apple Podcast or wherever you get your podcast. And I'll catch you next week. Peace.
If you enjoyed the content, please hit follow and subscribe. And remember to smash the notification bell so you can stay up to date on new episodes. Until next week.